All right, okay. There we go. All right. As always, if you missed any previous parts, you can click the link in my bio, and all the parts are on my YouTube in a playlist by the name 107 Days. Today we're going to pick up at page 172. As always, you do not have to have the book. September 17th, 49 days to the election. I'd flown to Philadelphia to be interviewed by the National Association of Black Journalists. We remember when Trump met with them. Oh, the debacle. They pressed me hard, especially on the Gaza issue. Media, if you want to beat the allegations that all media is placating to Trump, press him like you press everyone else. Just saying. I was explicit about our goals. There will be no reoccupation of Gaza. There will be no changing of the territorial lines in Gaza. That there be an ability to have security in the region for all concerned in a way that creates stability. We need to get this deal done, and we need to get it done immediately. And that is my position, and that is my policy. That was a bunch of nothing. That was a bunch of nothing. What about helping Palestine be recognized by the UN? How about helping Palestine gain sovereignty and protection? How about implementing education that truly teaches the United States what is Semitism and what is anti-Semitism? I mean, but what do I know? I'm not a politician, right? The day before, I had asked Sheila to call Donald Trump's chief of staff to set up a call. He and I had barely spoken since we left the debate stage, except for the briefest of exchanges on 9/11. But there are certain things that transcend politics. We are two human beings. Are y'all both human? I have my doubts about Donnie. I do. Both parents. He fertilized some eggs. I wouldn't say that he was a parent. Just because somebody passed some DNA on, can we stop calling them parents? Both with family members who worry about us. Name somebody in the Trump family that is worried about Trump. Barron don't even care about him. Barron love his mama. And Melania, she definitely don't care. I mean, look at what they're allowing him to do now. Like, look how they're allowing him to be viewed. They're not even trying to keep Pop in the back room. DEI is like telling the NFL 50% of cornerbacks must be white. What does that have to do with who in the Trump family cares about Trump? And given the Columbines that they have for the NFL and the DEI bullshit that's going on with the Cleveland Browns, your argument here is moot. Like, y'all really do just see a black face and decide to come in with every racial trope that you've memorized. Did you want me to tell you you were the goodest boy? Well, you're not. I don't know what you want. And there are very few people who know what it is like to be in the position we were in. Trump doesn't even know what it's like to be in the position. Okay? Trump has no idea that he's in any position. Don't worry, that field goal was good. I mean, just come in and like NFL. Oh, okay. Just let us know all about your racism and what you think black jobs are. I was backstage at the WHYY studios in Philly when it was the time agreed for the call. When we connected, his people said he'd be just one more moment. You know, for all the stereotypes that they toss at black people, Trump embodies all of them. Gleefully. Gleefully. I couldn't believe they hadn't put me on mute. I could hear him flacking his new book. It's sold out at Barnes & Noble and just about everywhere. Go out and get it. I hope you're going to buy the book. Someone running for president that keeps telling everyone that he doesn't need money is always selling something perpetually. But people have smoke for Cardi B for having multiple income avenues. Okay. When he finally got on the line with me, I said I was calling to check how he was. Also, real quick, y'all do know that not putting her on mute was intentional. He thought he was being intimidating. Well, I'm okay, and I hope it never happens to you. It's not a good feeling. Does he know how to people? Okay. I can only imagine for you, for your family. So, I'm so relieved you're safe, but I'm sorry you had to go through this. It's actually quite unbelievable that in our country this would happen. I pray for your safety. Kamala, you're pissing me off again. You're pissing me off again. You gonna tell me that after Trump's self-coup, aka the January 6th insurrection, after all of the violent acts, a judge who lost her son and her husband was shot due to the political violence brought on by Trump, you didn't think this was good? There is no way, as such an accomplished prosecutor, you are this naive. If you want people to take you seriously in politics, let go of the Damsel in Distress Act, Kamala. He stressed how much he appreciated the call and stood up for your Secret Service. They did a fantastic job, despite the criticism he was hearing on television. But he didn't say that publicly. He mused, we're all in this very precarious position being president or vice president. It's dangerous, worse than race car drivers and bull riders. I need y'all to recognize the signs of a narcissist and not play into them. It's a good sentiment what she did. She thought that she was showing diplomacy. You have to know your opponent. Trump isn't going to be like, oh yeah, she called to check on me. That was so great. That was so what? No, he's going to take it as she's intimidated. I'm the man. Alpha, mega, mega man. She was impressed that I survived. Then he started to get surprisingly effusive. What's Let's just keep going. It's very nice that you called, and I appreciate it. You've done a great job. You really have. You've done a very, very good job. My only problem is it makes it very hard for me to be angry at you. It's like, what am I going to do? How do I say bad things about you now? Trump talks too much. He gave you the perfect ammunition. He lets you know that one, he's intimidated, and two, he doesn't have any ammunition against you. Come here, Kamala. Come here. I just want to give you a hug. I just want. Don't be scared. Come here. Come here. Come here. I ain't gonna pop you. Not too hard anyway. Come here. Come here. Well, then don't, I said, laughing. Jesus Christ, on a motorbike. Is she for real? Is she for... I'm going to tone it down. A bullshit. 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 I will. You're going to see, I said. I hate to speak to her because I can't be vicious. Kamala? Miss Harris? You in danger, girl. Because he wants to have intercourse with you. He's flirting. He was flirting. He was flirting. And I usually don't pick up on the pickup that quick. He was flirting with you. Oh my God. Trump, I told y'all Trump was an incel. Because we know he has no problem going at women. Oh, Lord. He probably got off this call and told all his friends she wanted to touch my dang-a-lying. Yeah, we did need that Kamala the day that Montel. Oh, Jesus Christ. The wrong Harris daughter ran. Her sister should have ran. Her sister should have ran. Because her sister would have cussed him out in email form. You're too steeped, Kamala. You're too steeped in assimilation, indoctrination, and I get it. I understand the Indian community and how it feels and that caste system, and I understand. I noted that it was important for us to be civil. Girl, that's like me looking at a crocodile or an alligator going, it's important for us not to snip at each other, not for us to bite each other. And it is very important for you not to eat me, okay? Let's get to... Kamala, you better be glad I got fresh migraine medication. Because as I was wrapping up the call, he suddenly declared, my daughter, you know, is your big fan, okay? This motherfucker is flirting. This motherfucker flirting. This motherfucker flirting. This motherfucker flirting. This motherfucker flirt. He's an incel. He's an incel. And then after a few fulsome sentences about Ivanka's regard for me, he started gushing about Doug. What, in the swingers club? He came in like a wrecking ball. And say hello to your husband. This how you know this man has never faced accountability. Not for real, okay? He ain't really had his ass whooped since that girl in primary school whooped him for him trying to touch her undercarriage. True story, look it up. Ain't no way. Ain't no way you gonna talk all that cash money shit about me that he talked about her and then get on the first of all, I'm not calling you, but get on the phone with me and tell me to tell my man you said what's up? Are you new here? Are you new here? Are you new here? Okay. He looks like a really good guy. He did a good job at the convention, by the way. I told y'all Trump watched it. As many times as he denied watching it, I told y'all Trump watched it. Look, y'all can think I'm wrong about a lot of things. I get that. But when it comes to history and politics, baby, that's my thing. I watched his speech. He really was good. What in a single white crazy male? So Captain Kangasaurus was trying to get in her bikini briefs. I don't know if that's what she wear or not. Just seemed like that's what she wear. And no, that's not shade. She just seems like she's all about comfort. He was being amiable. Because he wanted to touch your undercarriage. He wanted to taste the goodness of the biscuit and drizzle his honey sauce. Like, it generally takes me a while to catch on to things like this. And okay. This man who had called me dumb, lazy, crazy, and mentally impaired. And you believed him when he said he was going to tone it down? And he said, tell your husband I said hi. Where was your... Kamala, don't take no more phone calls unless your sister is sitting right there and you got it on speaker. And let her respond for you. Okay, because I feel like she can cuss real good in email form. Implied that I drank and took drugs. Said I was a Marxist, a fascist. People had told me that he had the capacity, one-on-one, to show a warmer side. He had the capacity to make sure you nor Doug was going to whoop his ass. And that, well, because you got a cooter biscuit, there might be a possibility that you might let him sniff and or touch or rub up against your cooter biscuit. That he could even be charming. Is that what y'all calling charming now? Well, we know that's not Prince Charming. Is that the Baron Charming? That Lord Charming? Is that Page Boy Charming? I don't know. I hadn't believed it, and you still shouldn't. You still shouldn't. You need to recognize when somebody is just trying to avoid getting the brakes beat off of them. It's no different than men that have no problem knocking a woman between the washer and the dryer. And then another man show up and then all of a sudden, he ain't so strong, he ain't so boisterous. Stable boy charming. Yeah, that's it. But now I was experiencing it. And then a reality check. He's a con man. He's really good at it. He's not really good at it. He's not. Can y'all stop giving him credit for shit that he's not good at? He is not good at being a con man. If he was good at being a con man, we wouldn't know that he was a con man. Good grifters are never labeled as grifters. The best criminals never get labeled criminals. Jason Carter, eulogizing his grandfather, observed that Jimmy Carter, good old Jimmy Earl, was the same person no matter who he was with or where he was. And for me, that's the definition of integrity. Yes, that's why we love Jimmy Earl. Mm-hmm. Trump epitomized the exact opposite. No stuff. Did y'all not see? Did y'all not see Trump at Jimmy Earl's funeral? Okay, y'all didn't witness the whole Lenny and George situation with him and Obama? Once again, uh, Kamala, sister girl, we got to learn when not to share certain things. Like if you slow on to come up, maybe not share that. Maybe not. I mean, I share it, but I'm not ever trying to be president. I'd readied myself for a phone conversation with Mr. Hyde, but Dr. Jekyll had picked up the call. Mm, no, you prepared yourself for a phone call with Frankenstein, and you forgot you were only ever going to speak with Frankenstein's monster. And it just mattered which mouth was sewn on that day as to what you were going to get. September 18th, 48 days to the election. Before we left Philly the previous day, I'd made an unscheduled stop to say hi to young volunteers doing voter registration training at the city's community college. There were about 80 kids who all jumped up, screaming, hooting, and whistling when I dropped in unannounced. They'd made signs for the walls. Shirley ran so Kamala can win, and vote like your life depends on it. Yeah, well, one pivotal thing that you all forgot about history. As Shirley was running, they kept changing the finish line and tossing sticks onto the track to trip her up. And when Kamala came along, they just decided to Nancy Kerrigan her from all sides. I told them we're all born potential leaders. No, we're not. No, we're not. No, we're not. No, we're not. Stop telling everybody that, okay? By good 12, 13. You know, stop, Just like stop telling all these kids in school, well, you got the potential to be everything. No. No, 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 no. No. No, no, no. Some people's elevator in life is only going to go to the 5th floor, and that is fine. Be the best on the 5th floor that you can be. Everybody is not meant to quit out to be or anything a leader. This is why we got so many people walking around thinking that they are the main character when they're not even in an ensemble cast. They are the extra in the background, and that's fine because you need everything for a good movie. Okay, you can't just have the main character standing there on a busy street and not have no pedestrians. But can we please stop lying to ourselves and lying to one another? Everybody can't lead. Everybody can't lead. Okay, some of these people gonna lead you like Thelma and Louise right over the cliff. Okay, you can't be a lemur all your life. And so y'all get online and offline every single day talking about men, women, and non-binary folks that couldn't lead you out of a fucking paper bag or a cardboard box. We all have the potential to be leaders. No, we don't. No, we don't. No, we don't. No, we don't. And don't sit there and say, Taz, you're taking away the dreams of kids. No. Dream appropriately. Dream appropriately. Oh, no problem. Most of us can't see around here or hear around here, okay? We are the piecemeal gang. So don't worry about it. That's part of the reason why I read these books. Oh, we don't worry about spelling the grammar around here, child. We're not nitpicky around here. We all understand each other one way or the other. Okay, we are not a stickler for those rules. Only rule around here, well, there's 2 rules. Have a good time and be respectful to one another. Trolls, fuck them up. I don't give a shit. We're not formal around here. You might click on here and I'll have my pajamas on and a bonnet, child. And that inspired me that they'd kicked in to that role at such an early stage in life. You're brilliant, you care, and you're impatient. Okay, see, this is why people have fucked up ideas of definitions. Okay, this is why people get confused and go down wrong pathways. Being able to take instruction and be supervised does not make you a leader. We need to start being honest with people. Just thinking. I thanked them for what they'd committed to do over the next 48 days. I'd been where they were, a young advocate, dedicated to change. I know there are many other things you could be doing. No, they couldn't. They need to be able to put that on their college application. I don't mean to be cynical, but let's be honest. Let's stop acting like every good thing that has happened in history and every time somebody shows up is because that's their belief or it's out of the kindness of their heart. We can fill up volunteer spots because of college applications. Don't put aside your studies and, shower from time to time. What the fuck? What the fuck? What the What the Were they all white, Kamala? Did you sense some bath day activity? Why would you bring that up, Kamala? Why would you bring that up? Oh yeah, trust me, I enjoy volunteering. I've volunteered from a very young age, but we got to be honest when it comes to political volunteering. A lot of times, especially with younger kids, a lot of times it's to put it on their college applications. It looks really good. It really is. It's very, very rare that somebody can, get into college without a personal essay, putting a whole lot of time into their personal essay and without stacking the deck with a lot of volunteers. Eat some vegetables. They laughed in recognition. That's not what they laughed in. They laughed in discomfort. Ugh. What the fuck? Kamala, we're going to discuss that later. Back in D.C., I met with interns from the Congressional Hispanic Caucus Institute and had a call with the young leaders tasked with getting out the youth vote. I told each group they made me optimistic for the future of our country and that I knew what the stakes were for them. Kamala, you were the optimism, sweetie poo. Bookie butt. You were the optimism. And also, can we stop trying to put things on other generations as if we're not living right now? I don't know about you, but I need the misery to stop. Like, I want to help speed things along. The reason why we are where we are, well, part of it is because so many generations before us post those that was nuck if you buck. Like, I don't know what happened to a lot of people when King and Evers and X, passed, were murdered. Like, stop what, you're the future. No, we are supposed to be the hope. We're supposed to be the hope that hopefully motivates them to not only keep up what we've pushed forward, but preserve what came before us and push forward themselves. If we're putting hope in them, where's the motivation coming from? Like, always saying, well, the next generation, you're giving the current generation of tyrants the thought process that you're comfortable where you are. Like clockwork, every time a generation of atrocity has completely passed World War II, vets, we repeat, you got that right. They were the first generation to grow up with our planet already in climate crisis. Our planet has been in climate crisis since the Industrial Revolution. Actually, our our planet has been in climate crisis when palefaces decided to ignore indigenous people. I just saying, because we have an ever increasing list of extinct creatures. The first generation who went through school during lockdown drills. I promised them I would take bold action so that those here and yet to come have a livable planet and safe streets and schools. Well, we could do that, but historically speaking, the only way to do that is to kick the white people out. And the last time en masse people started kicking white people out of countries, they just found a country. Look to the left, look to the right, and started just doing their tyrannical shit there for generations. I advise the volunteers to use their interactions with potential voters as a way of building community, reminding young voters that they do have power. How about remind all voters that they have power? I need you all to stop squadroning off voters. And before you come for me, I want you to hear me out, okay? When you become a legal adult, legislation and the voter booth sees you no different than somebody that's been out there for 80, 90 years. You're really not given any grace. You're barely given grace by your family. We have a problem in the United States that we act as if soon as somebody turns 18 or 21, that all of this information just rains down on them and seeps into them through osmosis. And that they have the emotional, financial, etc. maturity to navigate the world. Stop dividing up the voters. Put them all in these events together. Because one, that teaches networking. And two, you need the older to speak to the younger and vice versa. So we can truly get everybody on one accord. Because right now, even if people stand on the left together or stand on the right together or stand in the middle together, you still have the generational wars and the misconceptions that keep the wars going. You focus so much on the young, you keep forgetting that we are populated by all ages, all experiences, all backgrounds. You're placing so much weight on people who are just now taking baby steps into life. Oh yeah, you're absolutely correct. Of course, in these meetings, in person and on Zoom, I was talking to the most politically engaged young people. It was devastating to learn after the election that I had lost some ground with voters under 30, especially young men. And this is also another reason why dividing up the voters by age is ludicrous. Because we know the pipeline of younger, that it's easy for younger men to be placed on. I'm not saying that older men can't go down that pipeline. Not at all. But when you have mature men out there who have lived life, some married, some not married, some hypersexual, some midsexual, some asexual, some all of that, this would give people a way to connect. And be able to ask some questions that would help them navigate how to vote, who to align with people who've been there, done that, and then a way to look at things another way. How can I get more in touch with the day to day? You're a young whippersnapper. I didn't know nothing about that. Like, you gotta connect the people. We talk about rugged individualism on it, but rugged individualism is also a group activity. And we perpetuate it. Pundits speak about the bro vote, the frat boy flank. I don't think of them in those reductive terms. Instead, I think about these young voters coming of age during COVID, unnaturally isolated, their lives lonely when they should have been at their most social. At the very moment their world should have been widening. It had contracted. For some, the voices that filled the void belonged to Andrew Tate, Myron Gaines, and others who grab attention with get rich or fitness content, then deliver arguments that feminism is damaging to masculinity and women need to know their place. I'm going to need y'all to stop with the COVID argument, because you can't have both arguments. And what do I mean? Since we've had more options for social media, you have blamed the lack of socialization on social media, admitting that kids don't want to go outside and they're sitting in front of a screen and that's how they interact. They'd rather text and all these other things, which is true. A lot of times the most conversations that they have is in waiting rooms while gaming. Online schools have existed for quite a few decades at this point. Homeschooling has these kids were already isolated. Full stop. A lot of these kids weren't socialized. Quiet parties have been a thing, where they go and get headphones and just dance to themselves. These have been a thing. But you're giving people excuses for the behavior that you were forced to see in yourself and in your relatives, most notably your children, that you don't want to create, that you're embarrassed by, and you feel that it's too late to correct in you and them. There was nothing unnatural about it. These are kids that, I don't know why I can't just take this class remotely. They didn't have a hard time adjusting. They pretended. These are the same kids that y'all spent months after months and years after years joking about programming everything for you since they were 2 years old. Hey, Vix. These are the same kids that finally got a break from their bullies. And COVID lockdown didn't last 20 fucking years. They weren't Anne Frank up in the damn attic. Like, y'all are really acting like we were shut in, like we're Congolese, Sudanese, or Palestinian. And this is why these kids now, these young adults and these kids, have so many excuses for not working on their personalities. Let me remind y'all, look at the idiot sitting behind the booger-ridden Resolute desk, where nobody worked on him to establish a personality. And what do you mean they're not socialized? Did you leave the house and leave them unattended the whole time that there was lockdown, so they were around nobody? You do realize socialization starts at home. Did y'all just not talk to each other? Do you not teach manners? Do you not teach boundaries and respect? What do you mean they weren't socialized? Did you Tarzan them or Georgia the Jungle them? You just took them out to the park and was like, hey, when COVID's done or it dies down, I'll be back to get you, child of mine. But you'll get on the internet and make fun of the woman who was like, oh, y'all sit around and talk to your toddlers? I don't. My wife just does. Like, we have to do better. We are quick to find a fucking excuse so that we don't have to change as people. But then we're irritated by other people exhibiting the same fucked up behaviors that we do. Think about it. The people who irritate us the most act the most like us. We see our flaws in them, but we would rather nitpick the hell out of them than change ourselves. Because please tell me how these kids were in the home with other people and don't know how to socialize. And if it was just the kids, why did social interactions get worse? If you're saying that people couldn't socialize within the home, then parasocial relationships were all that they were left with. Why didn't the interactions get better? What I thought. Polling revealed that many of these young voters didn't feel they knew me. Well, you really didn't educate them on you. The only thing they really knew is that you went to Howard, you're an AKA, and you worked at McDonald's. That's what you put out there in order to connect with the people instead of educating the people on you. That's how you connect with the people. You want to be an intellectual POTUS? Make sure the people are intellectuals. And by doing that, talk to them about you on their level and your accomplishments. Remember that the presidency is a job and the campaign trail is the interview process. This ain't toddlers and tiaras. I don't give a damn if you like long walks on the beach. I don't care if you like pina coladas. I'm not trying to take you on a date. And contrary to some predictions, they did not vote primarily on reproductive rights or Gaza or climate change. They voted on their perceived economic interests. No, they voted on racism and sexism and anti-blackness. And they really thought, they really thought that they were going to be able to re-enslave black people. That's the only reason they initially agreed to Trump's immigration plans. And newsflash, Latinos and Hispanics, they've always been here. Because remember, the United States took bits and pieces of other countries, and sometimes whole countries, and made them one country. That's fucked up. You still part of another country and then tell its people that they can't be here. Okay. In a post-election study conducted by Tufts University, 40% put the economy and jobs as their top issue. Y'all do know that people be lying, right? Ain't nobody about to come out here and tell you, I just didn't want to date. I just didn't want to vote for the Negro girl. I just didn't want to vote for nobody with a vagina. My daddy always told me that those of us with vaginas ain't that smart. That's why I just, I only work 10 hours at the Piggly Wiggly. Because that's all a woman's supposed to do. The next priority was abortion, 13%. Climate change was a top issue for 8%. How? Because most of the people in the United States do not understand climate change. Okay, if they wake up in the morning and it's raining when they go to work, and then they leave work and it's sunshine, and they believe that's climate change. Foreign policy, they don't understand foreign policy. So you mean Gaza. That's what you mean, Gaza. Including Gaza. Told you, 4%. Kamala, I'm going to need to see the rough drafts of some of your briefings and some of the bills that you've written, because who was editing for you and getting them together? Because I'm losing confidence. My policies, which would have helped young voters with protection for renters, a home down payment, or student debt relief, or elevating the opportunities of non-college graduates, or increasing access to capital, had not cut through the false notion that Trump was some kind of economic savant who would somehow be better for their personal financial position. First of all, you should have reminded people of Trump's track record. Second, once again, that is your problem. You acted as if only young voters could benefit from that. If you would have marketed that and explained that to all voters and had all voters together instead of squandering them out, this could have been better explained in side conversations. Because people who need that in their 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, let's be real, could have been like, hey, voting her in, you don't have to wait as long as I did. Let me tell you my journey. And yeah, I'm going to be using this for the first time. I need y'all to stop putting age limits. First of all, stop putting starting points of age and ending points regarding age on things in life. Do you think at a certain age, student loans miraculously disappear? People become first-time home buyers every single day at every single age. We can't sit here and go, it's never too late to chase your dream. Blah, blah, blah didn't start acting until their 50s. Blah, blah, blah didn't put out their first album till their 30s. But then when it comes down to what benefits you in life and will keep you from fighting to survive and able to strive and actually live, we're not going to focus on you. We're not even going to talk to you about it. Because it was mostly older voters that convinced younger voters not to vote for you, Kamala. What's not clicking? Linda. Listen, Linda. Listen. Linda, listen. Kamala, I need you. Go sit in the corner. Go. Got the nerve to be charging people hundreds of dollars to sit down and ask you questions about this book. Kamala, go out back and cut a switch. Yeah, we gonna roast some marshmallows in about 15 to 20 business minutes. But go on outside and cut a switch. It's cause I love you. It's cause I love you. And hand over your devices. I'm going to keep these for like 30, 60, 90 days. Because you, girl. Yep. Gen X parented up in here. In 107 days, I didn't have enough time to show how much more I would do to help them than he ever would. And that's what makes me immensely sad. You did have the time. You kept trying to play middle of the field. You kept trying to be the Mary Poppins. You kept trying to be perfect Patty. Nobody needed a damn perfect Patty. We already had imperfect imbecile. And geriatric George. You spent too much time trying to act like you was down with the cause. You let the bigotry and the indoctrination from the duality of caste systems that your ethnicities derive from cloud you. You feel, and in your own words, in previous pages in this book, Kamala, you feel that you have to have everything perfect, and you were taking too much time for perfection that you forgot no human is perfect. And we're not looking for perfect. I saw a video on TikTok where the guys were joking, construction workers, about giving advice to a new coworker. And one guy asked the older gentleman, how did you make it work for so long? Talking about his marriage. And he said, I didn't make it work. When you find your person, it just works. You can't make it. And that's it, Kamala. You were trying to make it work. You're saying that you want to transcend your race and you don't want people to focus on it. But that's all you gave them to focus on. You were so worried about, I don't want them to see me as the angry black woman, that you forgot to be the strong candidate who showed up with multiple copies of their resume with a beautifully written cover letter to shut down the interview. And we were rooting for you to do just that. Every night of those 107 days, my last prayer before sleep was to ask God, have I done everything I could today? And he ain't tell you no? Or did you miss the signs? I don't know if there was more that I could have done to help those young people know me better, to give me their vote. I do know that I tried. The problem is you were focused on young people. I know a lot of people don't believe it, but folks do still align politically in their families, in their homes. And even those that don't align politically, they're able to have productive, informative conversations. When you leave out all of the demographics, all of the generations, you're leaving everyone at a disservice, but especially the younger voters. There are people I have watched in the past 12 to 13 years say that they're finally having an epiphany and they're finally figuring out where they align politically because they felt before they were being ignored. And now that they're getting to the age bracket where previously that's where the focus is shifting off of them and going to other people. And we have to stop doing that. Once again, when you're in the voting booth, everything's counted the same. This isn't like going to a restaurant and you're going to get a different ballot with maybe some cutesy markers or some crayons or some colored pencils. No. We set legal adult ages for a reason. And also, let's be real. What politicians consider young ranges from 18 to damn 40. And how many people are jumping right out of college, going into home ownership, that would need the programs that were being discussed, that were being offered in exchange for a vote? And these are some of the reasons why a lot of people believe that all political parties are just different sides of the same coin or different sides to the same die. Because you're going for what sounds good and you're going after who you think is the easiest to manipulate, the easiest to convince. You're not just governing over one community. Just like I kept trying to tell people, and I still try to tell people today, about former President Barack Hussein Obama. He wasn't just the president of black people, and the black people and the white people who act as if, well, what did he do for them? You're showing your hand as to what you expect white politicians to do, to only take care of white people, but then you get pissed, rightfully so, and butthurt, rightfully so, when there are those that do that. You have to be able to govern over and look out for the best of the populace, which includes all of us, which means you have to truly see all of us and stop trying to just swindle votes and wins out of who you think is going to buy your snake oil. But that is our hour for today. As always, thank you for joining me. I will see you again tomorrow. Tomorrow, remember, we will be starting an hour later because I do have class from 6 to 7. So I'll see you at 7 p.m. Eastern. But for those that do like your girl ties at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard tonight. Don't forget, it is Talk About Tuesdays over on my YouTube channel. Just click the link in the bio and go straight there. Make sure that you are subscribed and turn notifications on. Okay? Keep up with your girl. Keep up with your girl. And as always, each one teach one, each one reach one. Go out and get into some good trouble. But remember, nothing that requires bail in this economy. And also remember, if you don't get caught, it doesn't require bail. Be good. Till next time.